REUTERSGETTYWho will replace Jeremy Corbyn. In Shakespeare's play The Tyrant, King finds himself weighted so deep in the blood of his foes that he cannot summon the energy to stop the killing. At Westminster, the suspicion is growing that the political purge conducted in the Labour leader's name is just as out of control and heading for a similarly tragic end. Mr. Corbyn appears indomitable at the end of a year of surprise electoral advance for his party. Yesterday, the hard-left firebrand performed on the global stage with a speech at the United Nations in Geneva railing against the international super-rich, yet some of his critics in Labour ranks wonder whether his position may be becoming as precarious as that of a statue of Joseph Stalin after the fall of the Berlin Wall. Like the late Soviet leader with a similarly avuncular public image, Mr. Corbyn has a network of terror lurking in the shadows behind him. Momentum, the activist organization set up to back his leadership, has stepped up its purge of its hero's opponents. MPs are being ordered by Momentum supporters to sign a declaration of loyalty to the leadership under threat of deselection. Last month, the organization seized control of Haringey Council in London after a string of moderate Labour MPs were deselected or quit complaining of intolerable bullying. Mr. Corbyn appears indomitable at the end of a year of surprise electoral advance for his party with slick social media propaganda. Momentum's grip on the hearts and minds of Labour activists and on the party machine is strengthening. Momentum candidates, including the organization's founder John Lansman, were tipped for success in elections currently underway for the party's ruling National Executive Council. Yet over the last fortnight, shadow cabinet ministers who were once unquestioningly loyal to Mr. Corbyn have shown signs of independence. Angela Rayner, the shadow education secretary tipped by some as a potential future leader, announced that she would refuse to sign Momentum's loyalty oath. "I'm not Momentum," she said, adding, "I'm a Labour MP to represent all of my constituents." Emily Thornberry, the shadow foreign secretary also expected to be a future leadership contender, angered hard-left activists by defending Israel. And other senior figures are understood to be concerned that Momentum's factionalism is going too far. The move by MPs seen as having leadership potential to distance themselves from some of the hard-left successes suggests Momentum has a successional problem. While 68-year-old Mr. Corbyn remains the messiah for the party's youthful activists, there is no obvious charismatic figure to replace him as the head of their personality cult once he decides to retire to spend more time on his Islington allotment. John McDonnell, the ambitious shadow chancellor seen as most likely candidate to carry the Corbynite banner into a future leadership contest, is unlikely to have the same celebrity appeal as the current leader. The hard-left's failure to create a Corbynite dynasty suggests a sign of its weakness. Mr. Corbyn's allies have certainly vanquished the Blairite wing of the Labour Party. Emily Thornberry is expected to be a future leadership contender. Despairing moderates admit more of their number are likely to quit the Commons well before the next general election. Some MPs are losing the battle in their constituency parties and won't stay around, one insider told me. But while the Blairites are in retreat, a new, soft left is emerging in the party's ranks among MPs and activists. Mr. Corbyn's grip in recent months has largely been based on the expectation that Theresa May's government was on the brink of collapse and another general election was about to be triggered. Her success yesterday in the Brexit negotiations has reduced that possibility and will force Labour minds to look to the longer term. They need to decide whether, like Macbeth, they allow the fruitless bloodletting in their party to continue.